This is TWiT.
So far, only two of us look like we're ready to play. Okay, three. Oh my goodness, folks. It is Friday, TWiT After Hours. I am Ant Pruitt. How are y'all doing? I'm unbelievable. And you know what? We about to play some cards, and I'm about to whoop about, let's see, 5 people in here. Something like that. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, Ant.
Pre-whooped.
Sweet. I'm going to go through and let
The weekend
everybody
is landing.
Let everybody do a bit of an intro and say hello to all of our listeners and viewers in the chat room. We're going to start with the ladies first. Miss Georgia Dow.
Hey, I'm Georgia. I'm here. I'm excited to play. I'm a psychotherapist by day, and I do tech at night. And I've never played Texas Hold'em, so I plan to lose.
Well, okay, good. That's a good built-in excuse for losing.
Words.
That's a good built-in excuse for losing. It's okay.
Don't believe it for a minute. She's a shark. Right. Why would you say that? Why would you say that otherwise?
I noticed, but in pre-chat, she was talking about her headset. She's like, should I wear my headset for this one? You know? It's good to see you, Miss Georgia. And also from the other side of the pond, and it doesn't look like he's in a dark cave right now. It still looks like he needs a haircut. My man, Friar Robert Balasser. How you doing, brother?
Hey. Yeah, I'm still coming to you from Rome, up at my rooftop studio. The weather has, I think, unfortunately changed for the season now. We're not getting the dips and rises anymore. It's just hot and humid and sticky, and I want to come home.
Well, we'll see you here like in 2 days, right? Right?
I wish. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, come on. They can give you some time off. We'll talk offline. We'll get that squared away for you. Appreciate you joining us. And next up, my man just down the road here in the Bay Area, Mr. Ian Past Participle Thompson. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. You know, it's Friday. The weekend has nearly landed. It's, even the sun is shining a little bit, so can't complain.
Man, I tell you, we're too close to not have been able to hang out together and go have a nice, fancy, smancy, greasy meal together.
I was going to say, I mean, when the pubs reopen, full English breakfast or, you know, I'm just craving barbecue at the moment. And you know it's out there, but you just can't go out and get it. And it's like,
woe is me. We'll get it done, though. We'll get it done. I appreciate you joining us today, my man. And next up, this dude sitting in a dark cave. Y'all know him in these streets as Doctor. What's up, my man?
So for the record, let me tell people, so it's on the record. Everyone knows personally that I dislike Tom Merritt. He's one of the most annoying people I've ever met in my life. His humor drowns out my own so much that I cannot stand him as an individual or as a person, and he gets on my nerves. The second person on that list is chat room in this game right now, Padre, Father, every time I come up with something witty, if I don't say it first, he says it, and it gets on my nerves. Just so you know, it's Tom Merritt and Wit, it's Padre, and it's A1 and 1A. These two fools are the most annoying people on the internet, and if you have a chance to unfollow them and then follow me, do that for yourself.
Do it for yourself.
I cannot disagree with anything that was just said.
Now, I'm going to say maybe he's number 1, not number 2 on the list. That's sweet. That makes more sense to me. But I appreciate you joining me, my man. It's good to see you as always. And I'm pretty sure you and I are going to have some words over this next hour or so. And lastly, my awesome mentor and coworker who's probably wondering what the heck did he sign up for today, Mr. Jason Howell.
This is not my first TWiT After Hours. I know exactly what I signed up for. Each and every week, it's something like this.
At least
that's why I keep coming back. It's so much fun.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, my man. Not
Thank
too
you, man.
much. We so this week, our after hours, we're going to focus on the wonderful game of Texas Hold'em poker. I'm assuming everybody here knows how to play, with the exception of Miss Georgia. That's okay. We'll explain it along the way. We'll just tell you shove your chips in. That's all you got to do. Okay. But while we're playing the game, I'm going to ask some random questions of our guests just to sort of keep the conversation going. And they will be totally random. And so don't be embarrassed and don't be surprised by said questions. That sound okay? I'm not going to ask you what kind of underwear you got on because I don't care, but I am going to ask you some other weird things.
We were supposed to wear underwear?
You said too much.
Okay, Mr. Ian, you can leave now.
I've been in lockdown a long time, man. Okay, I'm wearing my hard trousers.
You can leave. Did you say the hard trousers?
I don't want to know what those are. I really don't know.
No, not sort of sweatpants.
Please erase the visual. Erase the
ask.
visual.
We move along. We just move along. We pretend.
All right. So on the screen, you'll see a wonderful poker layout, and Mr. Nielsen is going to handle all of the administration as far as dealing and things like that. But the game of poker, you have the dealer position, they have the small blind position, and the big blind position. Those blinds are basically a way to get the betting started. The small blind is usually half of what the big blind is. And when it comes around to your chance to either call the big blind, you can call it, or you can raise it, or you can fold. But the reason we have those blinds is just a way to get those bets started. So now it looks like Big Sexy is in the big blind. I don't know who Big Sexy is or who we think he is.
Oh, yeah, you know who Big Sexy is.
So first to act is Mr. Thompson.
Aha, right. Okay, I'm certainly in with that.
And I'm going to be friendly because it's the first hand. I'm not going to try to run y'all off the table just yet.
Okay, so I guess I have the choice to raise it. Now, if I have like a pair of numbers, that would be good. And if I have like just really strange numbers, that would be bad.
Well, here, just show it to us. Turn your screen around and we can see that.
That's not happening. I'm just calling. I see already what's happening.
No,
I see what's happening.
Let me put it to you like this, Miss Georgia.
Hold on. One second.
Hold on, no, doctor.
Hold on.
I got the floor.
Picture and put it on the screen next to you, and then you'll see an image of what kind of looks good and what doesn't. Just help yourself out with that.
Okay, fair.
We're not going to help you.
I got this.
It's going to be bad. So
I got this.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Put it up on the side, and it'll tell you what's worst to best.
It's true. Yeah. All right. So now we have our flop, and first to act is Mr. Fuzzy Hair Padre. And now see, when he does a check, that means he's wanting to see what everybody else is going to do. He doesn't necessarily have to bet then.
Hanging around.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and fold now because I'm going to go ahead and ask my first question. And I want to ask this to the person that's probably going to have the best answer. And that would be Padre. What is the craziest tech that you have purchased? Not built, purchased. Because I know you like to build a lot of stuff.
I do. Craziest tech.
The craziest tech.
Oh, okay.
When you look back at it and you think to yourself, why in the world did I get this thing that's supposed to do ABC and it does XYZ instead? Crazy like that.
So it has to be a bad purchase or just a crazy
purchase. Crazy purchase.
Okay, well,
bad is probably going to be crazy.
Oh no, not necessarily. It would be the D-Free, which basically it's an ultrasound for your bladder, so it will tell you on your phone whether or not you need to go to the bathroom.
That was from like CES 2019 or so, right?
Yeah, that was pretty different. That was different. I will say the thing was crazy accurate. I mean, it actually knew before I knew.
Before you knew. Now, was that made for people who weren't didn't have that awareness? Like maybe it had a medical condition where they weren't aware, or is it just made for the everyday person to be like, I want to have psychic abilities with my bathroom break?
No, it was made for the people who might need it for a medical condition.
All right.
But I mean, it's really for the tech guy who's just like, cool, I want an ultrasound on my stomach.
You just had to try it. You just had to try it. So now we have 5 cards on the board in the community. That means all of the cards are out. This is where we're going to see who's going to make the money or lose their money with their checks or their bets. And right now, the action is on Georgia.
Got it.
Georgia can check or she can bet right here. She checks. And Mr. Thompson takes it down with a pair of aces.
Okay.
Well, luck of the draw.
Nicely done. I would have milked him a little bit more, but that's okay. That's okay.
that river would have gotten me in trouble.
He's being smooth about it.
So we don't get to see anyone else's hands?
Oh, if we want to show
you can show them if you want to.
Only if you want to.
Oh, well, yeah.
I just showed you my trash. But don't oh man, George, Queen Jack. That's a heck of a hand.
It could have been.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah, we'll talk about that Queen Jack a little bit more.
Somebody help me.
She's a shark. Okay, so now action is on me with my beautiful hand. Chat room, I wish you could see more hands from us, but that's okay. I'm going to raise. Make this 75 to play.
Dang, he's not messing around.
Okay.
You need to put 75 in here if you want to play. Otherwise, go home. Fold.
Gloves off, then I take it.
We're gonna put the glasses on because we serious right now.
You're gonna put on another pair of glasses, I hope.
Now I can see your cards.
Oh, that was amazing. No, those were good glasses. Shh, those were good glasses.
They look great on you, Ant. You should really be wearing those all the time.
Try to see
like myself because my monitor is off to the side.
Well, the glasses are rounded. I'm not going to say anything, but the glasses are rounded. Like every time you lean a little bit to the left, I'm trying to catch.
Drop some of that knowledge on him. Drop some of that knowledge on him.
The problem is my glasses are polarized, so I can't. If I put them on, I can't see the screen.
There we go. Mr. Thompson wanted to check to me, assuming that I wasn't going to bet.
I see. Right. Like that, is it?
Padre ran. Big Sexy ran.
Well, red, white, and blue, those colors don't run.
What about just red and white?
Those are the sweetest colors. How about that? The friendliest colors of them all.
So if I throw away a boat, that makes me a donkey, right?
Maybe. George is like a boat. That is a full house for those that don't know. Now, Mr. Thompson, we're not going to be here all day waiting on you.
Oh, sorry. Right.
20.
That was a kind way to let them. Come on.
Sorry. I was looking at the video feed, trying to discern clues.
Praise.
Woo.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right, well, I have
suddenly it's not a friendly game anymore.
I have to ask the question for all of us. What happens when we run out of money here? Are we out of the stream?
You are out.
Woo.
It's to be determined. We can buy you back in if you want.
You become the peanut gallery.
So we'll do one buy-in, Mr. Nielsen. Is that what you're
sure?
saying?
Fine.
Oh, okay.
You get one buy-in.
All right, it goes to the casino and gets broke in 20 minutes. He puts it all in or nothing.
I mean, if I get a buy-in.
But hang on. And what happens if we knock you out? Does the show over, or is it?
Yep, we shut it down. We'll have the lower thirds come up and the little outro bumper. We'll be good to go.
If you bust, you have to panhandle in the chat room.
Yeah, you have to busk. If you bust, you busk. Get an instrument and play for money.
I think bluffs need to be called. Right. Okay.
Well, look at here. He's going to raise me up. Huh?
Oh, my. Okay. Here we go.
What?
Here we go.
Holy Jesus. Really?
Oh, hell no.
Vicious.
Way to go. Way to go.
Wow.
I'm not going to show my hand this
done,
time.
sir.
You have to pay.
Oh, good grief. You were doing that with that? Can you show mine?
You should show it.
You have to click the button.
What are
you
you?
hit a button
Does
that
it
says show
cost
hand.
money to show your hand?
Where's the button that says show? Oh, show hand.
You don't have to show.
Oh,
but
man.
All right, you would have beat me. I had 2 jacks.
I would have beat you.
I would have
Actually,
won.
Jason would have beat me because he's got a better kicker.
Padre clearly had the best hand with the pocket rocket. So nicely done.
No. Jason. He's got the pocket rockets plus a better kicker than I do.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He would have busted me.
Pretty tough. That's the beauty of this game. You never know.
You just never know.
Ian with the kill. Look at that. Like he could just.
Ian 2 for 2.
Yeah. I'm going to ask another random question here. This one is for Miss Georgia Dow. Again, because she's touting that red and white flag and all of the beautiful friendliness up there. If you could replace all of the grass in the world with something, what would it be? Would it be more Aunt Pruitt's?
Wait, what kind of grass are we talking about?
Yes. We need some clarification here.
This is going to be so lame, but I would
grass.
probably choose flowers because I really would choose flowers. I know.
Wait a minute, you don't have allergies?
Sorry. The people, the bees need the.
Sorry.
You need the flowers.
You need a better.
Okay, just so you know, y'all just killed all the animals that rely on grass for food.
For real? Come on, Miss Georgia.
They can eat flowers. Some flowers are edible to most of the grass eaters.
What you saying, doctor?
What kind of flowers? You can't just say flowers.
What kind of flowers?
Hey, what kind of air do you want? I mean,
the breathable air.
Oxygen. What?
Take a mix of some carbon dioxide, some nitrogen, and then some oxygen. I'll take that.
You're up at
I would want a mix of flowers. I wouldn't want just one flower. Can't I have it all?
You didn't say that.
That's my question. It's my question.
That's fine, but still, I'm thinking about all the sneezing I've been doing around these parts.
Yeah.
I ain't never had allergies until coming to Northern California, and I've been sneezing my head off. It's been so annoying.
No, you had allergies. You just had different allergies that weren't activated back south.
Yeah, right. I guess
I got to say, as a Brit over here, I get the same thing. You know, getting an awful lot of So, but it's lovely. So can't complain.
It's lovely, he says.
My head's leaking, but it's lovely.
Yeah, I'm just saying. He's got one eye popping out. Good.
You're up.
All right.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I need to.
That's a strategy, by the way. He's doing that on purpose. Just FYI.
He's going to stretch this out so his 2,635 whatevers stick around.
Okay,
trying to get to the next. To the.
Let's get speedy then. Right.
That's a big pot you got there. I'll give you that. And let's see. Flops on the board of 7 hearts, ace spades, 5 diamonds. Checks all around so far. We didn't have a family pot because somebody had to raise an extra $20 for some reason. Don't know why.
And we may never know why.
Just rude.
Well, if you're gonna call bluff,
yeah, come on, man.
Just a little action. I like a little action. It's all good.
Yeah.
Got to keep people interested in the pot. Man,
I used to play poker about once a month with some cats back in Carolina, and it was just the most fun. We knew we were going to play, so we could schedule it out, kind of thing. Schedule our weeks, our month around it, and wasn't going to be playing all night long. We played for a tournament style, so it'd only be about 2 hours. It was just good old fun. And typically,
you got to pay to see the river.
Look at this dude.
Ooh.
Look at this dude.
At the pot.
That's all right. That's all right. Keep it. Take his money, Georgia. Take his money.
Would you take money from a
showdown?
Ooh. All right, heads up. We've got a 10 of clubs on the river, pair of aces, 7 and 5 in the community. With Miss Georgia first to act. She checks. And the survey says Padre is going to try to buy the pot. That's what the survey says.
I'm actually clutching the shoulder side of the seat now. So.
Just a friendly reminder, I think the quote is saying, God doesn't like ugly.
Oh. Sleep on that, Padre.
I mean, you only leave me one way to go. So,
as this dude up in the all black room, dressed in all black.
I told you what the Lord don't like. Here you come.
Strategy.
All right. Okay. She folds, and Padre takes it down. All right.
I'll show you later.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, right. Okay.
You made the right call. You made the right call.
Random question here. And this time, the question is for Mr. Howell.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Now, Mr. Howell, you recently posted on Twitter a pretty interesting little photograph of yourself. Looked like you were holding a trombone, huh?
Yeah, bass trombone.
Really? See, I did not know you played trombone. I knew you were a musician, but I didn't know trombone was the thing for you. So,
well, it wasn't. It isn't the thing, but at one point in my life, it was the thing.
My the 12th grader that I have, the hard head 12th grader, he used to play trombone. He was pretty dadgum good at it. And I remember just thinking how proud I was to see that he actually liked it. You know, even though he played sports and stuff like that, he still liked playing his horn, you know, but these last 2 years, he sort of put it away to try to focus more on sports and stuff. But when I saw that trombone, I thought about him playing and just how much he used to love it.
Look, but trombone's nice, but you got to play a manly instrument, like the instrument I play.
Hold up.
Oboe.
What's the manly instrument?
Oboe.
Oboe. Oh, come on, man. Right, Padre, look, Padre,
hey, double read, man. It's all about the double read.
I'm gonna give you some credit while I call here. I'm gonna give you some credit. The oboe sounds totally badass in the ecstasy of gold from the good, bad, and ugly. So
thank you very much.
You get a little nod for that. All right, but my question, Mr. Howell.
Yeah.
What is the most embarrassing moment for you in high school? And can you say it with a straight face?
Oh my goodness.
Questions like this are so hard. Like coming up with one right off the top of my head is really difficult for me.
Oh yeah.
Most embarrassing moment of high school.
You haven't had any alcohol, so it should be easy to come up with this.
I feel like it should be easy. High school was embarrassing. Don't even get me started on junior high.
Oh man.
Let me think here.
Actions on Georgia. She bets 20 as we got a ace king 10 on the flop.
Georgia.
Why am I having a hard time coming up with anything?
What about my life is perfect? What about with band? Anything embarrassing with band? Band is always having some interesting situations. At least when I was in band, there was always something interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it was necessarily embarrassing, but when I think of band, I think of the fact that how old was I when this happened? I was a junior, I believe. So I was in 11th grade, and I dislocated my shoulder. Jumping on a trampoline, I dislocated my shoulder.
I was going to say the trombone ain't that heavy, but you said it's a trampoline.
Yeah, right. I didn't do it then, thankfully. But it changed because I was in marching band and I was in, I was still doing band, but yet I couldn't hold the trombone anymore.
Right.
And so in marching band, I had to have my arm in a sling and I had to move to a baritone trombone, which is kind of like, it's a trombone, but in the form factor of like a trumpet.
Yep.
And I had to do that entire season one-handed, because I could still do it. And I'm sure I looked like I think I was embarrassed at how I looked out there, like with one arm, like the sleeve flopping around and everything. But I'm sure I could come up with something better. But when I think of band, that's like the mark that is left on me, is having to do marching band with one arm.
A one-armed trombone sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
Oh,
did what I had to do.
I give you props. Well, I have an embarrassing story, and it wasn't from high school. It was a little bit younger. I think it was more along like 11, 12 years old, something like that. And I went to summer camp for a day or something like that. And they took us to the local swimming pool, and we just had a good old time. And when it was time to go, we had to run back out to the buses to be bused back home. I remember grabbing my towel and running out through the lobby and getting ready to run to the bus because I could see the bus right out the lobby. And I was running as fast as I could and right into a glass door.
Oh, no.
I remember the whole ride home. My face felt like it was smashed in about 3 inches.
God.
People wanting to talk to me, and I didn't feel like I could move my lips. Just, oh, man.
Oh, 3 of us had aces.
Man. Now, that was
one of us had a second.
Who's the winner? Is it Padre?
Padre wins with 2 pairs.
Yeah.
He's got an ace 10, and ace 10's on the board. That was a good showdown.
I was afraid of the king, but then no one bet the river. So I'm like, okay, no, I got this.
Yeah, all yours. Well played, sir. Well played.
Looking a little short there, Jason.
Yeah.
He's just waiting. He's waiting for his moment. He's going to pounce.
It's that trombone talk.
All in. I'm pushing all my 70 whatevers into the table. Center of the table. Yeah, how do I continue when I run out?
It's
bound to happen on this hand.
We're about to find out.
You're at the mercy of your table mates to see if they want to let you rebuy in.
Oh, heck yeah.
No, we'll let them rebuy in.
Yeah, just have to do something on camera. You know.
He's probably going to have to sing a song,
You'll
though.
have to sing.
Yeah,
how are you going to earn it?
Ooh.
You can turn it into strip poker, but no. It's...
No.
I heard
I'm game, but no.
No shirts on. That's what I heard.
What? No, doctor. No. No. Oh, doctor, you sounded muffled again, like you're being ducked out.
Ooh,
I'm muffling myself on purpose because I'm out of this.
Okay, Jason. Okay, I see what's going on. I feel it. You know what?
He's getting Terminator on us.
Dude. All right. So Jason is feeling.
He's feeling. Yeah, I know. He's got to make his move.
Yeah.
Sister Christian, know the time has come.
If this is
that you're the only one to save me.
You didn't have to sing yet, so that doesn't count.
Okay, there we go. Whatever I had to do to get more money.
That one doesn't count yet. That one doesn't count.
Nope. Wasn't enough. Okay. They don't. The chat room has to.
You know what? And
really? You're going half the pot on me, huh?
Come on.
Ooh.
You gotta.
Half the pot.
Got the same hand as last time.
This dude's gonna make me go all in. I'm not gonna do it this time. I felt it. Oh, Jason, you had Big Slick. That is a good hand to go all in with. So, chat room, what song should he sing?
Sister Christian, I just did.
No.
You can't prepay your buy-in, man. Come on.
I thought that was the deal.
I know. I think it should be, what is it? If You Want to Be My Lover by the Spice Girls.
Do it.
Do it. That's good. Does he have to dance though?
No. It has to be a Dave Matthews song.
Oh, see, I wouldn't even know that. That's the problem.
I don't know that one either.
At least if you want to be my lover, I could pretend.
All right. That's your song. That's your song. You ready?
If you want my future, forget my past. If you want to get with me, better make it fast.
You got to do it in falsetto.
My precious time. Get your act together. We could just be fine.
Wow. You gotta do it in falsetto.
Tell me what you want. What you really, really want. There. Tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
I only know the chorus, so I'm wow.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right.
So Jason, you can
guarantee you my kids are gonna run through that door and be like, "What the heck's going on in here?
What is wrong with this?
so Jason, you should be able to click on a seat and buy in. But
Okay.
what do you guys think that was worth? 500? 250?
I think 500
No,
sounds
it's pretty
good.
awesome.
500?
500?
Give him 5. Give him 5.
Actually, the chat room should really be the ones deciding, but
This is true.
2,000 if the chat room decides.
Not Del Poco.
10,000.
He wanted to pay to make it stop. So
Oh, good grief, that's harsh.
You should see an option, Jason, to take a
Why,
seat.
guy? Come on, man.
They are such a tough crowd. Now let's I'm gonna go back to the questions, and I want to pick the brain of the man in that dark cave up there on the screen, because I know he's gonna give me some deep thoughts, because right now we got all of this fascinating tech. We got AI, we got ARM, we got 5G, we got bad crappy internet in the house. So, Doc, what is something that's popular right now, like crazy uber popular right now, that you're thinking is going to be just flat out dead a couple of years from now? Just done.
Spicy question.
Mm-hmm.
Because people said that about Twitter. They said it about MySpace. You saw what happened with that.
Glasses are coming back in style. I heard Apple's making glasses.
Glasses is coming. Glasses are back. It's going to be back in style. So you meaning as in smart glasses?
Yes, making glasses great again. It's coming back, I heard. And this time it's real.
So, doctor, will they be meticulously designed and handcrafted?
They'll be thinner, lighter, more magical and imaginative than you could ever dream of, and they will still be crap. It doesn't matter with the eye logo on front of it, because guess what? Seeing is believing. And 2015 is business.
There you go.
Anybody knows it's me.
I'm sold. I am sold. So glasses will be back.
And they're gonna be
I don't
going
know.
AR, VR, all in your eyes. Roadmaps here. Apple Music right in your ear. Thinner, lighter, faster. Made of aluminum.
See, thinner, lighter, faster sounds like an athlete. That don't sound like glasses.
Sounds like an athlete.
That sounds like a prototype soccer player or something. Who knows?
You would know, BioHip.
Well played.
That does sound really cool, though.
What do you think, Miss Georgia?
Oh, goodness. Something that's in now that will die. I'm actually excited for the glasses. I'll buy them and I'll wear them.
See? And then you'll
I'll
put
go
them
down
in
with the
your
ship.
never look at them.
I'm in. So I think that's awesome. Something that will die, though. Oh, it's such a sad thought. And I can't pick something like flossing dance or something, can I? Because I'd like that to die. I'll take the floss dance. I'm done with it.
This is your time.
Anything. People, I don't want to deal with it anymore. Just stop the flossing. It's not.
What exactly is the floss dance? You need.
Don't worry. He's about to be broke, and then we're gonna make.
Yeah, there we go.
No. You got to show us. What is it?
I can't even. It's got the little hands are going on the other side. Like you're just.
It's not easy.
It's. Oh, and I hate myself a little bit for doing
Imagine that you are pulling a towel through your legs back and forth.
No, don't imagine that.
No, that sounds
just
painful.
wrong.
People do that as a dance. Really?
Yeah.
I can't believe you don't know. It's all over the place.
I'm not hip or cool or with it or any of that stuff that people say. I have no idea. Or lit. Isn't that something they say? I'm not lit.
Yeah.
Big sexiest slow playing.
Actually, Liddy now. It's not lit.
Oh, it's Liddy?
It's Liddy. We don't say it's lit anymore.
It's Litty.
Liddy.
We'll get rid of that too.
Liddy.
It's Liddy.
Oh, come on, man.
Haven't heard that one.
What kind of food?
I'm still trying to get used to on fleek.
What is on fleek? Now, what is that?
Wait, have we passed by On Fleek already?
I don't even
On
know what
Fleek?
it is.
No,
I think so.
I'm feeling very old at the moment.
What is that?
I'm gonna let you look it up because
No,
it took
I'll
me
pass.
forever to figure that out.
I have better things to look up. I'll pass on that. So on the board, we got a pair of 3s, 8, 2, and 10 on the board with Miss Georgia first to act. $440 in the pot. She checks her option.
Whoa.
Big sexy
man,
checks
I
his
see this
option.
way.
Totally misread that play.
Dang. I was convinced that O'Doctor was holding on to a pair.
For real. Past participle about to drop the hammer on us.
So, Ant, what are you going to do when you run out of money?
Someone's dying. Oh, someone's trying to buy the pot.
Wow. What am I going to do when I run out of money?
Cheap at twice the price.
I'm going to come take it from you, Jason. How about that?
Before I even have a chance to use it. I realize we just gave it to you, but I'm taking it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I fold.
Well played, sir. Oh, he does have it.
It is.
He has it. He's got two pair.
With the check raised from Big Sexy here.
Got the nuts. He was just waiting for someone to try to buy the pot.
And for the record, I'm not going to say
happy.
that no more.
He's happy. He's happy. Come on, Ian. You're gonna let him go with this?
Oh,
he's going over the top.
He's not.
Over the top raise.
Ooh.
Over the top raise, heads up here.
Now
Somebody's getting ready to go home.
Oh man.
So now
someone's ready to sing.
Doc is all in with a full house takes him down.
Damn.
Past participle with the exclamation point.
This is why I got out.
Once you get to the point, it doesn't even matter. Like if you're just hanging on.
Yeah.
Scrippin'.
What's that?
Nicely done. This cat got a full house. What else you had? You done had a couple big hands tonight. Good.
Yeah, the cards have been lucky. I was quite.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh man, I got to go all in now with my little tiny.
I've never bluffed, so I don't bluff.
I don't bluff either.
That's what someone that would bluff would say.
Right.
I don't bluff.
You're bluffing when you say you don't bluff.
That's Padre.
Dang, man, this is not going so well. All right, so let me pull another question out of the hat here. All right.
Wait, is Big Sexy gonna rebuy?
Yeah.
No, he's not allowed.
Not allowed. Oh, Doctor,
I didn't
sing.
Oh,
Come on.
that seems
I don't
hard.
want him back because he believed in glasses.
He didn't believe in glasses. He was anti-glasses. He gets to
Like, come on, man.
sing a little song.
Yeah, you do have to sing if you do the buy-in. So yeah, you're not off the hook, cuz just so you know.
Who's got those?
Don't worry, it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
It'll just be on the internet forever. Don't worry, no one here's running for public office.
You have to let me see. The song that I want O'Dot to do is what's that song?
He can freestyle, man. He knows he can freestyle incredibly.
No, we're gonna go with Little Annie. What's that song? Hard Not Life. And I'm not talking the Jay-Z version either.
That's a good version.
So Doc, to buy back, you got to sing.
I think your song choice is trash.
Exactly.
I have
exactly why I picked it.
I have a rebuttal song and watch the crowd cheer with my rebuttal song.
Yeah. This ain't dealer's choice, cuz I know we playing cards, but this ain't dealer's choice.
When someone brings you out dinner and it's trash on the table, the choice is to eat it. The choice is to go to another household and eat another meal. And I suggest to you that they let me offer another meal.
Yeah. St. Burger King, you ain't getting it your way.
going to leave me. And I'm too sexy for your card game. Too sexy for your card game. No way, I'm disco dancing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As I
This is worse.
Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I had no idea Right Said Fred got over here.
The worst.
Yeah, it happened.
I swear.
Still going. I love it.
I thought I heard howling over here.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop,
My
whoop.
gosh, man. All right. Let me ask you guys another random question, and this one will be easier. And if the answer is yes, you need to go in full detail and
Ugh.
and tell
It'll be
us
no
about
then.
and tell us about the innocent bystanders of said question. So we'll give this question to Mr. Thompson.
Oh, good grief.
So, have you ever caught something on fire while cooking?
Oh, yes, plenty of times.
He says it proudly.
Oh, yes. No, I mean, you can't do deep fat frying without setting the pan alight once in a while.
Why I came to you, because I knew it was going to be some pork fat somewhere.
Well, no, I mean, come on. Chips are as essential to the British diet, or crisps. No, sorry, fries in freedom language are as important to the British way of life as eggs and what you call bacon over here. It's just it's an essential thing. And once they get a light, they get too hot. All you got to do, chuck a damp tea cloth over them, and Bob's your uncle. Take it off the heat, and it'll calm down.
It's that simple, huh?
Oh, and you're gonna
well, there's a certain amount of panic involved, obviously, but you try and keep that down.
So when something is caught on fire while you were cooking, were there anybody around and yelling at you and calling you an idiot and saying you need to get out of the kitchen? Because that has happened to me a couple times.
Ooh, no, I
haven't cooked.
No, it was just, I think it happened when Mum was around, and I think that was just controlled desperation that only a parent can do. But it was just like, Ian, okay, let me show you what to do.
Send Owen some
He
money.
needs to grab a seat.
Oh yeah, where's Owen?
I have a great fire kitchen story. Okay,
Let's hear it.
So I was visiting my aunt, and she had an electric stove, and I was used to a gas stove. I never used an electric stove.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Going either way, it's a big difference.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like, sure, I can go make it. So I cook it, and then the stove stays hot well after you turn it off.
Yep.
I put the pan off of the burner it was on, but the handle was over top of the burner.
Son of a
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes after I'm sitting there eating, you could just smell rubber fuel burning as it was flakes of the ham to the pot. Now here's the bad part. The bad part is she had a linoleum floor. So it was burning holes all over the kitchen.
Oh gosh.
The pot, but also the floor. And I survived. I lived to tell the tale. I lived.
And so what happened to her floor? To this day, is her floor still pitted?
New floor, new pot, new
floor.
Did we have to burn something in the kitchen?
Okay, there's a story there. Go on.
High school, I was a bit of a chemistry nerd, and I was making my version of napalm. It was using rubber cement as the binder with iron oxide and magnesium.
That's what
you didn't use liquid soap and polystyrene.
No, because rubber cement sticks.
Ah, okay. Sorry, this is probably a bad thing to be talking about on air. I'm still a green card holder.
I left that an ingredient, so if anyone tries to recreate it, it won't work properly. But my brother was in there, and he thought it was interesting, and so he tried to light some of it on fire. And of course, it's self-oxidizing.
Of course.
And I knock it out of his hand. Unfortunately, what happens is I actually hit the container, and it goes all over the shower curtain.
Oh,
so you have self-oxidizing combustion on a plastic shower curtain.
Also known as the perfect storm, right?
Yeah.
So that was a good day.
Oh, good grief.
Goodness.
Wow.
Well, we are down to our last 3 players. We have Mr. Past Participle as a chip leader, Padre right behind him, and Rebuy Raygun One How in 3rd place.
I've recovered a little bit.
Well, you all handed your chips to Ian, so now I'm like, thanks. Yes.
All and any donations gratefully received.
You see, the winner of this game should have to, like, you know, the second and the third players should be like having to like wear a shirt that says that I love the other person on it afterwards. For the next show, and it has to be on air. So last two, whoever loses, should have to have a little.
So glad I'm at
my
the
shirt has
bottom
to be in
of the
Italian though.
By the way,
Oh, you bluffed the entire thing.
Oh,
You sneaky.
Yeah, that's what I like to see.
bluffed them off. Nice.
Well played, sir. Well played. Right. Okay.
Slowly but surely, I'm clawing my way back.
Nice bluff gig from Mr. Raygun Howell. Nice. Nice.
I was sure you had a pair in
So,
there.
Georgia, you have to take a
So
seat.
it looks like
if you,
Doctor is in the lobby trying
wanna
to
jump
get back into
Yeah,
the table.
I'm surprised you didn't end up in on the next game because you were
Today's
kind of on
next
standby
game.
at the right time.
Interesting. So now we got an interesting flop of Queen, Ace 8 with 2 clubs and spade.
Okay.
And Padre's first act, as he does the math, starts counting the cards.
Pushes all his chips to the center of the table.
Works on divine intervention.
He checks his option. Check to Mr. Thompson.
I'm feeling the pressure a little bit, so I tell you what, I'm going to fold and just go and grab myself a quick whiskey. Okay.
You're supposed to already have the whiskey, Mr. Thompson. Come on, man.
I know, but I figured with, you know, it's better to play sober, but okay.
No.
I only have water.
No. All right, Mr. Howell bets minimum bet.
Okay.
Don't you call my bet minimum?
Oh, I'm gonna call it minimum because that's what I see.
I was gonna call it basic.
Don't you call my bet basic?
Now the thing with heads up. Oh, and a pair on the board. The thing with heads up play is, especially on this tournament style like this, any pair is like pretty much it. You're gonna win, but you have to be able to get them off of their cards, which means bluffing.
Cheers, all.
The question is if Jason just landed a vote.
Ooh, nice.
He seems very happy.
Do I? I could be very sad right now.
Look at that face.
Yeah. When those pairs show up, people get nervous.
So now Padre
Check just a little, see if what we're doing here.
He bet 40 and was raised another 40 back to Padre. Jason Howell looks away from the screen because he doesn't want to give a tail to the Padre.
I've got Jason on top 2 pair.
Top 2 pair? Really?
Yeah.
This is the advantage of playing online, though, because the first time I played in poker in a tournament, it was in phase, you know, and I got beaten like beaten badly. And the guy sitting next to me was just like, you got to check. Your left hand shakes a bit when you've got a really good hand, and you're okay, right?
I can see all of that stuff.
Good to know.
Hey, hands are below the camera, you know.
I played a lot back in the East, and I always wore my glasses because I remember a tournament I played in. A woman said she saw it in my eyes when I hit something.
Right.
And I was like, okay, that's all I need to hear.
This is it. Why make it easy? You know, it's
right.
Your betting is baffling me. Really.
So right now,
I think Jason is the wild card in all this. You know,
he's not even betting a quarter of the pot or anything. It's just, let me just stick a little chum out here in the water.
I don't want to run out of money again. All right.
I don't know what that is.
Just a little chime in the waters.
We'll bet the pot.
So now he's going to make him decide just how good his hand is. And that was a snap call. Snap call.
Sitting on trips. Okay.
Outstanding, Padre. So now Old Doc is back with his minimum $500 chips. Miss Georgia is back.
I don't think she did anything to earn her rebuy, however. Or did I miss that?
Right?
No, I like her, so she's okay.
I see how it is.
You know, them other cats, they are all right, but I like Miss Georgia.
You picked a trash song anyway.
No.
I would have made everyone sing, so.
So Ian, McAllen's 18 years?
Actually, no, it's an Aaron cask strength. It was my birthday last week, so I treated myself. So
he's got something potent.
Yeah, you can now get it over here, which is the problem. Trump was announced he was going to put a 25% tariff on whiskey, so there was panic buying, at least on my part. But apparently it hasn't come in. It's still reasonably justifiable in terms of, you know, it's a birthday treat. So yeah, why not? It's so yeah, I mean, it's getting a lot easier to get good whiskey over here. I mean, when I first came over in '94, you had Maker's Mark, and it was just horrible. I mean, that's just it should be done under the Trade Descriptions Act.
You use Maker's Mark to make sauce, not to drink.
Yeah, it's what I call a cooking whiskey for hot toddies when you've got the flu.
No. You use Maker's Mark to disinfect things.
Or that. Good call. Good call. All right, let me see. I'm going to give y'all one more random question.
Oh, geez, this board sucks.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. The board has...
basically, anyone who fires first wins the pot. You know that, right?
Yeah.
All hearts on the board.
Good grief, that's nasty.
Left. And everybody's just sort of twiddling their thumbs with their bets because they're scared of each other.
It's just, you know, there's somebody out there with a 2 of hearts, and it's just
got the 2 of hearts, and just grinning. I bet wait a minute, he folded.
Well, Jason's buying the pot, and I'm not getting it in the way.
Wow, buying the pot.
We're not going to be playing for much longer, so you might as well just do or die.
I know, right? Get it done.
Oh, what the hell? God lets a coward.
Come on, I know he's got a heart. Oh, and the river card is a 2 of clubs.
I thought we were going to have a flush on the board.
The question, who has a flush? Who has another heart in their hand?
Who doesn't have a flush?
Right.
If anybody.
He's just playing to play.
All in, Ian.
Right.
All in.
So let's go all in. This will be our last hand. So let's go all in.
Oh, it's the last hand. Oh,
let's
we could play it out. I was just goading you to go all in.
Wow.
Yes. Do we have a time limit, or are we shutting down at 5?
It's more of a guideline than a hard out.
Here. The last time I was in the States, I had some Japanese scotch, and it was surprisingly good.
Oh, the Japanese have been beating the Scots at Scotch. Oh, you had it.
Yeah.
And there's the nuts.
Yeah, the nuts. He knew it.
Look at Jason Howell on the comeback here.
Yeah.
I know.
He's all proud of himself
He's
now.
a bunch of them.
All proud of himself. All right. Let me see. I had a question in my head a second ago. What did I do with it? Where'd it go? Oh, I know what it was. All right. I'm not going to ask you what was your first car you ever had. I want to know what was your second car, because that first car, at least in my experience, it's a beater, it's a bucket, and I hope and pray that most people's first car is a beater and a bucket, and the second car is a slight upgrade. So, Doc, second car you ever had?
My first.
No, second car.
Let me explain to you now.
Oh, okay. Of course, he can't keep it simple.
And my third car, the same exact car.
Oh, you loved your car.
Because my grandmother was a baller. And when she gave me Buick Century, she gave me the old Buick Century.
Oh man,
I had another Buick Century, and I went and bought another Buick Century because it was only $500. To which I got into a fight one time, and someone threw a rock through my windshield. And you know what I told them? I threw a rock through the side window, and I said, "So what? I'll buy 2 more tomorrow." I'll give a about this car, okay?
Look here.
Second, third car, Buick Century. Keep note, I got pulled over one time doing 120 miles an hour. The cop said, "You know how fast you're going?" I said, "The dash only says 85, so I don't know what I was doing." That's all gone. But first, second, third car, Buick Century.
Wow, Buick Century.
$35 a month car insurance plan. What you know about it?
Dude,
free.
You know what? That is a baller move where you can go out and say, "I'll buy 2 more cars."
500 you want to go on the street right now for $150. I mean, I get everybody on the show one. You want one?
Man.
Yeah. Padre might be that overseas, you know what I mean? But I get you one, you know what I mean? It ain't nothing.
Wow.
He buys them 6 at a time, and when they get dirty, he just throws them away. That's like baller.
Straight cash, homie. That's what I do. I mean, first 2 are free. I must say that. Mama hooked me up.
Heads up, on the next hand, the small blind is 250, big blind is 500, and then I'm going to start increasing every hand after that to wrap things up.
Oh, that's
Well,
right.
Basically, you're putting Georgia all in. So.
Yep. Now, so Mr. Ray Gunn, your second car.
My second car, if God, I can't remember if it was 1985 or 1986, beige 4-door Honda Accord.
Oh, it's so economical.
Dependable.
Wow. Hey, it lasts forever, it's...
Yeah. But before that, I know you didn't ask, but before that was a 1975 GMC 4-wheel drive pickup that my dad called Old Yeller because it was all yellow. And we had used it for years, like for camping. And my dad, he was a hunter, so he did take it hunting or whatever. And so I inherited that. It was actually a pretty nice truck.
The utility truck.
Yeah, I started strong, and then I went down to the Honda Accord.
Post a picture of you in that truck. You can't be on that truck.
Yeah. No, there's no way. That truck didn't have a roof on it.
Somehow I fit.
So my
what about you, Miss
car I
Georgia?
was supposed to have, the one that I thought that I would get, was a 1960 white Cadillac with the fins. Beautiful. It was my brother's car. He was like 18 years older than me. And he's like, "You can have the car when you're, 17 or something like that." So I thought.
Good score.
I mean, hold up. Georgia is sitting here as she's just casually telling us about.
I know.
Yeah, just
Pocket
like
Queens.
Got a pocket Queens out here, just about to scorch the table.
just casually, yeah. Well, this is his car, and it was really that. It was just like, there's a shark in there somewhere. I'm convinced.
Good grief. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but that was just rude on your part. Goodness. The car, the Cadillac. It's
The Cadillac, 1960, beautiful white.
Okay.
And
All right.
Weighed about 4 tons.
Yeah. I was waiting. I had like a K car. It was like just it moved. I was just happy to have a car.
A nice reliant automobile.
17 comes around, my brother keeps the car. 18 comes around, my brother keeps the car. And to this day, he still has his 1960 Cadillac, finned, beautiful car. And
Man.
Yeah, still has it. And I told him once, like, "Didn't you tell me you were going to give that to me?" And he doesn't remember a second of it. He's like, "Really? I don't think so."
Wow.
By the way, Georgia, you flopped 2 pairs.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even look at my hands. Oh, well.
Unbelievable.
And boom, you're in third.
Good grief. Now, what about you, Mr. Thompson?
Ooh, second car. Yeah, it was a 1981 Volkswagen Scirocco. A stunningly underpowered car, but it was a Volkswagen. So basically, it would run forever, was a tank in all but name. And it was a company car. And it was about 0 to 60 in about 17, 18 seconds if you were going downhill, maybe a cliffside downhill, I mean, it was just woefully underpowered, but it did keep me alive, I think, which is
that's criteria number one, I think.
You drove a mini tank.
This is it. You see, this is why I've never, driven a motorbike, because I know I would kill myself. I did see a motorbike with the license plate over here, donor, and I was just like, I want to meet that person, shake their hands. Because,
I've ridden a motorcycle in almost 13 years and 17 days will be 13 years since I rode a motorcycle.
Man,
wow.
Let's ride a motorcycle. It was so much fun.
And so
I'm not allowed to ride motorcycles anymore.
So. Why? Who told you couldn't?
Well, I may have laid down a brand new Harley when I was living in Milwaukee. It was literally straight from the factory.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, because Harley's in Milwaukee too, right?
Yeah. That wasn't good.
Well, it's the thing. It's the thing with Harleys though, because I once interviewed a Nokia executive in Finland. And he's infamous because he got the largest traffic fine in the country's entire history. Because he was driving his Harley on the last drive before the winter back to the garage. And he was caught doing 57 in a 35km/h zone. And in Finland, unusually amongst many countries, but I think this is a great idea.
Oh, right.
You're fined based on how much you earned that year. A percentage of how much you've earned that year, and he just cashed in all his Nokia stock options. So his fine for going over speed was over 400,000 euros.
Yeah.
And the PR, before I went into the interview, I mean, obviously you're going to try, you want to ask him about it, but the PR was just like, instantly, if you want to end the interview instantly, you ask him about the traffic fine. He was so sore about it. But thankfully he appealed it and it got knocked down to 4,000 euros. But it was just like last ride of the summer and that happens. It was horrifying.
That's when you throw away the bike.
You should be able to surrender the vehicle instead of the fine. So just take it.
For 400,000, yeah.
But I do kind of like the idea of getting fined as a percentage of your income. That seems very fair to me.
Now,
that's what they should do to Facebook.
Yeah.
Out loud. Okay, we're living.
Doctor,
get fair justice right now in America. I don't want to be fined on my income. Okay,
for real.
Get some people justice first. We start fining people on their income. I got pulled over 87 times in 3 years. I don't want to hear nothing. Income.
Actually, I'm fine. I'm fine with getting fined as a percentage of my income. What's the percentage times 0?
How many Hail Marys I got to throw out to pay this off?
Exactly. I'm gonna go to Finland and do like 300 down the interstate. Go, yeah. What?
All right.
What you gonna do?
So we lost Jason, Georgia. It's just Ian and Padre.
Before he gets pulled over, no one's gonna.
We got our last 3 here.
That's good.
We're now down to our last 2. Heads up. This is for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
I could have done with a better hand if it was for all the marbles, but
you know what? Let's do this proper.
Oh, look at this.
A valiant effort by Mr. Ray Gunn. I got to give him that. With the buyback in, I give you that.
At this point, your stack is so big. This is the only thing I can do.
This goes against every principle of poker I have, but let's do this.
Oh, man, we flopped the pair. Flop the bigger pair.
Oh, flop the bigger pair.
So we've doubled up, Padre.
Holy cow.
Now we can actually
have a game.
Wow.
Heads up. 1 double up for Padre.
Close.
But now,
better too. You knew better than that.
Mr. Thompson's going to throw some snark at the cards and walk away with a victory. That's my bet, right? Every time you're on air, everybody loves the interesting wit and conversation.
Well, the fact is, with a British accent, you can get away with an awful lot more. It's got to be said.
True.
I can say things on American broadcast media which I could never say in the UK.
But I will say I'm disappointed in you because last week you did not say wanker about anyone one time.
Or bollock.
Well,
come on,
you know,
or bollock. Like, what's wrong with? Are you mellowing out?
No. I'm just. I kind of don't want to feel like it's sort of like do the dance, monkey boy type thing. No, but it's
the stash. It's the stash.
I feel you.
Yeah. Oh God, this stash is going as soon as I'm getting very, very sick of it. Every time you sneeze, run to the mirror, quick. Is there anything in there? You know.
So Ian bets 1,000, bets the whole pot. At Padre has to act now. We got he folds.
Damn.
Oh man, he had a straight too. Well played, sir. Well played.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Now, Padre, we didn't get your car answer though. Your second car.
My second car was actually my first car.
That doesn't count. What is it?
My second.
What's up with you and no doctor?
Because the first car was a 1980 Datsun 310 GX that was so beatered that it fell apart. So I had to go to the junkyard and I got parts from a Datsun B210 and made it run again. So it was across my second car. It was rebuilt, but it was actually the first car just with different insides.
See, we live complicated lives, brother.
I swear.
Complicated lives.
Okay, what was your third car?
We build our hips. Okay.
Your third car.
There we go.
Good grief. So daggum difficult. Jeez. My second car was a 75 Corolla, and it was probably my favoriteest car of all time. It was blue with faded out blue paint that chipped and all of that. I pretty much sat in the back seat.
I was going to say, how'd you fit the Corolla in the trunk?
Yeah, I pretty much sat in the back seat of it, and it was a 4-speed manual transmission.
You kicking out the side, you kicking up speed like a skateboard. You had a Corolla. You had the
true story
to get in there.
True story, because it did not have a floor in it.
Oh, I bet it did.
Whoa!
I was on a draw. So
it was one of those like the Flintstones cars where you could run.
Pretty close. The floorboard on the driver's side had rusted away, and I had to put a piece of plywood board up under my feet to keep my feet from going through the carpet and out of the car.
Future and the past. I knew exactly how you was living in the Corolla.
You weren't supposed to know that.
Here we go.
Ian's all in.
Such is life.
It says, here we go. He's still in. Still in.
Hang on, that worked. I thought you trade won that one.
How are you doing this?
It's like a tennis match. Keeps going back and forth.
For real.
No, I was sure I'd complete. Okay. Well, okay.
Now you're.
I think Padre's got this one.
House. Yeah, Padre's got a full house.
Two pair.
He's back in it now.
No, 2 pair.
No. 2 pair.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, no. 2 pair with it.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Well done.
There you
Wow.
go.
Okay.
How?
I'm going to be walking around with a smile on my face all tonight. Thank you.
So our new poker champion, inaugural poker champion, is Mr. Ian Thompson. I call him past participle because this weekend someone said they called him Lane online.
Oh, yeah, happens a lot. I mean, are American people called Lane? Because I've never met one, but I'm constantly being called Lane.
I don't know how they got that, but sure. so congrats to you, my man. This is a lot of fun. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to sign off and say where we can find them and find any of the projects that they're working on or anything they'd like to plug. And again, because I'm a Southern gentleman, we're going to start with Miss Georgia Dow.
Okay, so if you're dealing with anxiety or depression, you can check out anxiety-videos.com. And if you're looking for therapy or, want to shoot me a message, you can check out either Twitter at Georgia_Dow, or you can send me an email, which is georgia@westmounttherapy.com.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Miss Georgia. It's good to see you.
It's great to be here.
And I'm glad I was able to keep Doctor out of your hair a little bit.
We're on TWiT on Sunday, so
yeah, that's going to be another story.
That's someone else's problem.
And next up, out there in Italy, in Rome, in some bunker up on a roof or something, Mr. Padre Robert Palliser.
Indeed. Thanks. It's always fun to be back. It makes me feel like I'm home a little bit, even though I'm not. I'm desperately trying to get back before the August weather here. It's like DC. It's basically you're swimming through the air. So
you have that humidity over there.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's what I mean. I'm okay with heat. Las Vegas, I like. Humidity kills me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But if you want to see me complain about the humidity, or if you want to see the eggs that we get in the Vatican, you can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/PadreSJ, or you could go to youtube.com/digitaljesuit, and you'll see the content that I'm making there.
Outstanding. Yeah, the egg story has been, air quotes, interesting to see in your Twitter feed, sir.
They're doing this new thing now where they're making like egg loaf, which has actually been pretty good, except for the fact, it's like a little bit of broccoli and a little bit of prosciutto. It's nice, but they haven't figured out that they can't just pour the salt in one place. So if you're the unlucky guy who happens to get that piece, you go from it tastes great to the next bite is, oh my God, I'm dying. All the water is being sucked out of my body.
So extra flavor.
That's so funny. So funny. My goodness. Thank you again, my man. It's really good to see you. And
My
next
pleasure.
up, my homie over there on the East Coast in them streets, in the dark room with the low key lighting going, shades on. Just, you can't tell him nothing. Owen JJ Stone, also known as O Doctor.
Let me tell you guys some things that are true. Padre Father 32 names did win today, so it's a win for me in my heart. Okay. Secondly, I got to do another show with my internet wife, my Robin, and my Batman Georgia. So that's a good day.
Yep.
Ian can't be trusted, and that mustache is making me feel uncomfortable. I only wore a shirt to one of these Twitter After Darks. You know what I mean? You've been crazy coming in here wilding out on that after show. Leo, you got to talk to the guy. And found out that Ant is the bionic man. He's only the $2,500 man, but he bionic. Everybody running circles and prove it, man. I'm your boy Old Doctor on anything that's important. If I'm not there, it's not important. Don't go there. Go away. Run away. I see y'all in these streets. Love y'all.
You got it. Good to see you, cuz. Appreciate you, my man. Next up, Mr. Thompson. Where do we find you?
We've just actually recently changed our URL. You can find me at theregister.com. It's like, well, more than half our readers now come from outside the UK. So, it's kind of like, it's easier for everyone. So we made the shift at the start of the year, and it really seems to have worked. But you can find us there. It's tabloid headlines, lots of snark, but we always get the stuff covered in properly in the end.
I absolutely love it. And I love you, my man. You're so
and you
awesome.
too, mate. And you too. One day we are going to get together again and really paint the town. I'm thinking chartreuse, but some interesting shade anyway.
I'm all for it. All for it. Thank you again, my man.
Cheers, mate.
All right. Lastly, again, one of my awesome co-workers and mentors, the Ray Gun himself.
Jason, I got a house shirt on.
Okay, wait a minute. With the what shirt on?
No, the house shirt.
The house
Is this like a trademark house shirt?
I trademark that.
I gotta make some money off this shirt.
Hey, no attention to the man behind the curtain, Jason. No
Jason Howell on Twitter. I'm working on my store. I'll set up my store, and you guys can come shop for shirts.
That's right. Pre-worn shirts.
Yes.
Pre-worn.
And not washed either.
I might squeeze one arm into one. You know what I mean? You little skinny baby. I get one. You know what I'm saying? I fat guy, a little shirt for you. You know what I mean? I'll do a little shirt. Maybe I'll
for you, Owen, I will send you an entire week's worth of shirts for free.
Hey, look, how you gonna do these shirts? Because it's on the internet. I need these shirts. Okay, that's gotta happen.
That's the next meme. I could see it now. All right. And also be sure to check out his show, Hand on Android.
That's
all
right.
about Android Tech News Weekly with him and Mr. Sargent. They're just crushing it each and every week.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, Mr. Howell.
Thank you.
All right. Lastly, me, Ant Pruitt, chat room, Army TWiT listeners, man, thank you all so much for the continued support and joining us here on this fine Friday afternoon. This was a lot of fun. Really, really was a lot of fun. And a great change of pace considering all of the foolishness that we are dealing with outside of our four walls. It's good to be able to get together, have a good time, and throw some chips around and laugh at one another's bad jokes. This was some good stuff. So thank you all again. Check us out each and every week here on TWiT.tv. There's a bunch of different shows that's out there for all of you to enjoy, whether it's security, Android, iOS, Apple, or my show, Hands-On Photography, Hands-On Wellness. Go check that out. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, all of that magical stuff. But until then, we will see you all next time here at TWiT. Thank you all very much. And shout out to Mr. Nielsen for putting this all together. Be well and do well, folks.
Honestly, Owen, this is my lucky shirt. This is the shirt I wore on my first date with my wife, and as it turns out, she loathes it. But I've always considered it a lucky shirt.
I've been staring at that thing the whole
you put
show.
on that shirt.
Yeah,
It's not, see, the shirt's fine, but with that mustache, it is freaking me out. Like,